Jeez Louise. Nothing like trying to do this while you're driving. Don't do this at home, kids. Hey, Yogi here. I know it's early. It's 8:37 Central Standard Time. But I've been, for those of you who know, I have anxiety. And it's been a daily, I don't want to say struggle, a daily issue. And sorry if my car is loud. I don't know why my car's so loud. But anyways, I thought I'd do this live stream. For those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you know I suffer from anxiety. One of the things I'm doing right now is last summer I had a panic attack while driving on the freeway, which is common. It's a common anxiety symptom driving on the freeway. People are afraid to drive on the freeway when you have anxiety. I gotta remember, the camera's right there. I'm used to looking on this side, but I turned my camera the wrong way. So, what I'm doing right now is I have a appointment down in Milwaukee, and I have to drive 32 miles to this appointment down in Milwaukee. And when you're driving with anxiety on the freeway, which I had an issue last summer, and it kind of affected me driving on the freeway, to be honest with you. So I thought this would be a pretty good time to just kind of hang out and chat with you folks. So I'm actually driving 32 miles. Most of it's going to be on the freeway. Depending on traffic down in Milwaukee, I might just, I see a comment, I'm really sorry, I don't know who it's from, it disappeared. And I'm driving right now, so I'm really sorry, I'll get to the comments later, but thank you for whoever just commented. So I got to drive 32 miles, most of it freeway driving down to Milwaukee for this appointment I have. And driving on the freeway for me has been a trigger for my anxiety. So what I'm doing now is, one of the things they say when you have anxiety is do it anyway. That's kind of a motto. Or do what non-anxious you would do. And I used to have no problem driving on the freeway until last fall, or last summer actually, when I had a panic attack driving on the freeway. It kind of made it hard for me to drive long distances on the freeway. I mean, I have no problem when I'm out door dashing and Ubering, driving 5-10 miles on the freeway, and that's it. But like going long distances, like driving from where I live to Appleton, say it was like 55 miles, that was an issue for me. So, last year when we did the Appleton Haunted History and Mystery Tours that me and my sister do, I tried doing them on the freeway, tried going up and back on the freeway, and was having issues, so I ended up taking a different way around the eastern half of Lake Winnebago to get up there. It took longer, but it was more highway driving than freeway driving. And so I went up Sunday and did some filming up in the Appleton area, and we went to Green Bay as well. And after I dropped my sister and her daughter and the kids off, I thought to myself, you know what? I could do one of two things. Take the same way back that I took up here. I took that way actually because I was filming, so I had to take the eastern Lake Winnebago route to do this. So I thought to myself, I'm right by the freeway. I just got gas. And my original intention was to not drive on the freeway. It was to drive, the original way, the way I had been driving. I don't mind it. It's scenic. It's got really beautiful views of Lake Winnebago. It's kind of up on the bluff, the road is. It's Highway 55 and it turns into 151. So I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm getting on the freeway and I'm going to see how this goes. Because, it's weird. When you have anxiety, all these things that used to be no problem, no issue whatsoever, all of a sudden turn into an issue. I've talked about that before. So anything you would do, driving, for instance, on the freeway, becomes an issue. And you're kind of like, and for me, I don't want to have that. I don't want to live that way. I want to make my world smaller and smaller. I have a YouTube channel called Road Trips with Yogi, so I have to road trip. I have to get out and do these kind of things, and it's going to involve at some point freeway driving. So on Saturday, I got on the freeway after dropping my sister off in Appleton, and I drove all the way down, the whole time on the freeway, about 25 miles. You know, traffic was pretty busy because it was the day before Memorial Day. So there was a lot of traffic, and I went through, you know, places like Neenah, Menasha, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and really had no problem. I actually did pretty well in my opinion. Got a little bit anxious, but again, if anybody watches this stream who suffers from anxiety, I understand where you're coming from. Trust me. However, you got to get out and do these kinds of things. You got to get out and retrain your amygdala, that little walnut-shaped thing inside your brain, that not everything is a threat, that not everything is going to kill you, and that's basically what anxiety does. It's just doom and gloom all the time. You have thoughts of, is this going to do? You get a pain, for instance, anywhere. You think right away, oh my gosh, I got this pain. I better go to the hospital. No, not every pain's going to be, you need to go to the hospital. You know, it's just, excuse me. It's just, you know, it's a daily battle. I hate to say battle. It's a daily struggle. These phrases, but it is, you know, because things that I used to love doing, I haven't done. There's things I haven't done since I started having anxiety in 2020. One being going on a long trip by myself. You know, I haven't done that yet. I haven't gone on a road trip by myself far away. I mean, I'll do like an hour and a half away, but that's it. You know, I usually come back, and there's only so much you can film in an hour and an hour and a half away from where you live. So obviously you're going to have to go farther and farther. And I've gone on road trips to other states with my sister or my wife, but I haven't done any of that by myself. And that's my goal. My goal is to, even if it's in Wisconsin, like drive up north a couple hours, stay in a hotel a couple of nights and just film, like do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, hit small towns and interesting things up there. It's starting to rain. Yeah, I'd rather do that, you know. That's my goal. And it seems for anybody who's watching this, it's like, what's the big deal? Unless you have anxiety, it's a big deal. It's really, really hard to do that when you suffer from anxiety. So, again, and maybe I just did this live stream to keep myself occupied. So, I'm talking while I'm driving. Guilty, I guess, you know. Maybe I did this just to preoccupy myself so I wouldn't have to concentrate on, you know, getting down there and stuff. But I figured since I'm doing it, and since I have anxiety, and since maybe some of the viewers I have anxiety, and, you know, it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's something that happens. Millions of people have it. So it's not like, especially since the mess that was 2020 happened, that's when I first got it, in July of 2020. You know, and it's been up and down, up and down, up and down, good days, bad days. You know, you just, I want to start doing things that I never used to do. Fear of heights, that's a big one for me. I've always had a fear of heights. It's weird, okay? I can't go to like a shopping mall and look over a second level balcony. That's too much for me. I don't have a problem going on roller coasters. I don't have a problem. You'll never catch me going to like the the Willis Tower in Chicago and going in one of those see-through cubes that hang out over the building. No, that's never gonna happen. I'll tell you that right now. It's never gonna happen. but I also want to start trying. If I always said I would never go up to the top of the Willis Tower. It's just too high, or a tall building. It's just too high. I can either do that, at least try, and say, hey man, you tried. Because talking here saying, well, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I guarantee you, I'll never go out on one of those ledges in the Willis Tower. That's never going to happen. Never. That glass could be 50 feet thick, and you ain't getting me going out there. No way, no how. But it's just, you got to get these. You got to do these things. You got to do them. And if you folks suffer from anxiety and you think I'm crazy and I can't do that, yeah, you can. Just try it. Try it. If you have to get up, if you have a fear of and anxiety with driving on the freeway, just get on the freeway and go one exit down. Go like a mile. What's the worst that can happen? You're not going to crash your car. I look at a freeway as a road that's faster than a street. That's it. It's still a road. It's a street. It's like driving on a street, actually. It's like you're focused. You just focus and drive, which is what I'm doing. Again, guilty probably of starting this live stream to distract myself, so I'm not thinking about it. But I thought this would be a good time also to talk about it, because like I said, there's probably people on my channel who suffer from anxiety and who don't drive on the freeway, and maybe this will give them a little bit of hope. Well, if he can do it, I should be able to do it. Because, some people, the problem with anxiety is people think that their anxiety is worse than everybody else's anxiety. And it's just not the case. And I'm not trying to say that to make you feel bad or anything, but all of our anxiety symptoms are the same. It's just how you react to your anxiety that determines the severity of it. I still have good days, and I have days where I just don't want to do anything. But I get out there, and I go and I DoorDash, and I Uber, and I still try to do the most I can. It's until you start retraining your brain to realize that, hey man, these things aren't a threat. That's me opening a soda. I need my caffeine. And one of the things is you shouldn't drink like caffeine when you have anxiety. Well, I drink 2 cans in the morning and that's it. I don't drink it afterwards. I have 2 cans of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and then I switch over to Sunkist Zero Sugar for the rest of the day. So it's not like I'm going all in all day, every day with the caffeine. Those days are over for me. But I'm doing what non-anxious me would do. I still like to enjoy having a caffeinated beverage or two. If it triggers my anxiety or brings it up a little bit, so be it. It's like you have to do the things. You have to do the hard work. It's crazy to say, and I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear that, but it's true. In order for you to retrain your brain to come out here and drive on the freeway and realize, hey, this ain't that bad. I've been driving on the freeway now for about, 20 miles. And again, I have a distraction. I'm talking to you guys. But I'm doing it. And on my way back, I won't be talking to you guys. I'll be driving on the freeway. And we'll see how it goes. If I have a panic attack, the last time I had a panic attack when I was driving, I was like 10 miles away from the exit that I needed to get off on. And I was, on the freeway down to Milwaukee, and I ended up sucking it up, panic attack and all, and just driving the 10 miles. I didn't get off the freeway. I didn't, panic and pull over and stuff. I just kept driving. And I got off at the exit I got off at like 10 miles later. And I felt like crap, but I did it, I showed my brain that, hey, just because I had a panic attack doesn't mean I got to stop driving. it's weird. Unless you have anxiety, it's really hard and difficult, I think, for people to understand. And the people that do have anxiety, man, I feel for you, because I know what it's like. But really, just get out there and just try. At least try. Try to get out in your car if you have a driving anxiety. Like on the freeway, get in your car, go get on the freeway and get off at the next exit. Keep doing that for a while until you get accustomed to being on the freeway for, a mile or two. Then go farther. Go 2 exits. Go 3 exits. 4 exits. And consider it a win. Don't consider it a failure because you didn't get out. You didn't get on the freeway and drive 32 miles like I'm doing today. I mean, I don't think of it as a failure at all if you get in your car and at least try, and go a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. Try it. Get in your car and at least try to do the driving, And then, if you get on the freeway and you get off the next exit, consider it a win. Don't consider it a failure, because it's not. You're doing something that you've been afraid to do because of your anxiety, and that's get on the freeway. If you get on the freeway for a mile and then get off the freeway, that's an accomplishment. That's a start, in my opinion. And then if you get comfortable doing one exit, get on the freeway, go 2 exits, 3 exits, 4 exits. Just keep going, And each time you do that, just let your brain know, hey, this isn't a problem. And celebrate it, Even if it's 1 exit away. Even if you get on the freeway for 1 mile and you get off the freeway at the next exit, you got on the freeway. And consider it a win if you have an anxiety with driving. So for me, this is the second time now. Sunday, I drove like 55 miles on the freeway, and today I have to drive 32. So, I'm taking it as a win, and I'm taking it as showing my brain, my amygdala, that hey, freeway driving, you got this. It might take some people a lot longer to accomplish that. Don't feel bad. We all have. Everybody who suffers from anxiety kind of suffers from the same kind of effects of anxiety, the same kind of feelings. I'm not trying to say this to sound offensive or anything, but nobody's anxiety is worse than anybody else's. We all have the same kind of symptoms. It's how we react to those symptoms that determines the severity of how you feel, if that makes any sense. So we got this car here that's got to get in front of as many cars as possible and slow everybody down. Ooh, traffic's going to be... Ooh-wee. All right. So now we're coming into the outskirts of Milwaukee, and we got traffic. But luckily, I'm getting off the freeway up here at Silver Spring Drive, and then I'm going to take Highway 100 down the rest of the way to my appointment. I was planning on... Ooh, there's a tour bus. I wonder what band that was. Squirrel. Anyways, so I'm getting off the freeway early because I don't want to miss my appointment. And if I stay on the freeway in this traffic, I will miss my appointment. So yeah, I don't want that to happen. I think I can get off the freeway here in Silver Spring. I hope I can. Because if I can't, then we got some problems. So anyways, folks, try. Don't let anxiety control you. Show your anxiety that you are going to live your life regardless if you have it or not. Because to let it get the best of you is just giving into it, and that's not going to help. That's not going to help. It's just going to make your world smaller and smaller. I am not a doctor. I'm just telling you from my experiences and what I've listened to and what I've read, that the best way to get over, or the best way to live your best life with anxiety, is to just live it. live your life, do those things, and you don't know unless you try, right? And for a long time, that's how I felt. I felt like I couldn't do anything. You know, I felt like, especially after the first panic attack, that those first couple days, I didn't want to do anything. I was just fully determined to just give up. And then I thought to myself, no, I got to make money. I got to, you know, I wasn't working at the time. I was actually out with an injury when it happened. But I have to, what's going on here? Can I get off the freeway here? Yes, I can. Okay. So I have to get off the freeway here. But I drove about 25 miles, 26 miles on the freeway. So it's a win. It's a win. So other than that, it's supposed to rain all day today. I am going to be working after I get done. I got to drive back up to my area and get some work done. And then I got a members only episode coming out tomorrow. I've done a whole lot of filming lately, and I've done a whole lot of editing lately, which is how I have to do it. Hold on. So I'm only usually out filming one day a week, unless I find something interesting and I have my phone on me or something. I'll film something, but I generally film one day a week, so I try to get as much filming done on that day as I can. And I've been on a roll lately, so I have a bunch of episodes ready to go. Probably about 2 months worth of episodes ready to go. If something interesting comes up before that, I'll upload it. I'll edit it and upload it right away. But for the most part, yeah, I got a bunch of episodes done. A lot of abandoned stuff. A lot of abandoned stuff I found. It's been small towns. Some interesting stuff. I got 15 minutes. I got to be there in 15 minutes. I thought I gave myself enough time. I thought to myself, 45 minutes will be plenty of time to get down here. I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. So I'm off the freeway now. I'm driving down. It's called Highway 100, Lover's Lane Road. That used to be called T. Averns right there. That used to be a nightclub. And I saw a bunch of bands there. I saw Clutch. I saw Clutch on their second album, their self-titled second album. They opened up for Marilyn Manson. Let's just say I didn't stick around for a whole lot of Marilyn Manson. But I grew to like some of the songs of Marilyn Manson, but I went there basically to see Clutch. And that's the only time I've seen Clutch. That was 1995? I'd like to see Clutch again because that's a great band. That's a great, I don't want to say underrated band, but a band that kind of stays under the radar. You know, they're not a huge band by any means, but they're just a great band. If you've heard of Clutch, you know about Clutch. If you haven't, give Clutch a listen. They're rock and roll, heavier rock and roll band out of Maryland. Other than that, you know, I just want to talk about freeway driving and anxiety. I know this isn't the kind of thing a lot of people are interested in, and that's fine. But you know, there might be some people that watch my channel who have anxiety issues and might want to hear how it's affecting me. And my advice to you is live your life. Try to live your life the best you can with it, or else it's going to take control and make it very hard for you to live your life. And I'm not letting it do that. I'd rather have a really crappy day at the end of my day for anxiety, knowing that I did something like got in my car and drove. Because you know what? When I start feeling crappy at the end of the day, when my anxiety does kick in, I'll be like, well, there's a reason why it's kicking in, because I did something, because I drove. I drove on the freeway, which I haven't been doing because of my anxiety. So I'm chalking that up as a win. I ended up driving probably about 25 miles on the freeway. I had to get off the freeway because of the traffic. So I'm in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. There's a sign, 48,000 people. small town Wisconsin. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it because I gotta get over to my appointment. But thanks to everybody who's chimed in. And again, I know there was somebody who Hank the Frank. I can't really see what you said, Hank the Frank. I've had panic attacks while driving on I-43. Yeah, that's where I had mine too, Hank the Frank. Man, I had mine right around Capitol Drive. And I had to get off on the Grafton exit, 60. So from I-43 to Highway 60, from I-43, Hank the Frank, to Highway 60 I had my panic attack on I-43 on Highway, right around Capitol Drive, and I had to drive to Highway 60, which was a Grafton exit. So that was about 10 miles or so I had to drive, having, and then, you know, the panic attack going away, but having that feeling of, oh my gosh, because that's the only time I can remember having a panic attack while driving, I think. I might have had one way earlier when I was door dashing. Yeah, I don't recall. I might have had like 2 panic attacks while driving. Usually when I get a panic attack, usually it's like right before bedtime, which sucks because it's like, why? Why now? You know? But, you know, your stress jug gets full and full and full and full, and then it overflows, and that's when the panic attack kicks in. So there ain't a whole lot you can do. You know, just you can either let it get the best of you, or you can live your life as best as you can, and, you know, panic attacks and anxiety are going to happen. And as long as you know the symptoms and you know that it's not something worse, I guess it's, you know, you can just tell yourself, I know what this is. Like when I'm working, I'll get pains and stuff like that, and I'll get the stuff going on, the little anxiety symptoms, and I'll be like, it's anxiety. Keep going, keep working. And that's what I do. I keep working, and I go home, you know, try to do what I can at home. But yeah, I'm getting really close to my appointment. So, with 10 minutes to spare. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Again, you know, I'm not trying to knock anybody else who has anxiety. I'm just saying, don't let it make your world smaller. Just get out and do the hard stuff, because that's really the only way you're going to be able to retrain your brain to not be afraid of those kind of things. So good luck to you if you have anxiety, and if you're trying to do the work, and if you're really, really stuck right now and you can't, try. Like I said, get on the freeway, get off the next exit. You know, if it's a mile away, it's a mile away. If it's 2 miles away, at least you did it. And then you can be happy about it and say, hey, I did it anyway. Great, you know. So, all right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode, this live stream. I appreciate you coming along with me. Like, share, subscribe, comment, you know, all that fun stuff. Those are free to do. Until the next episode, which members only episode drops tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to upload yet. Like I said, I got a bunch of episodes ready to go, and I got some members only episodes ready to go. So I don't know what I'm going to upload, but I'm going to upload something later today for the members tomorrow. And then Monday, I think I have Oostburg. I think Oostburg's my next episode, on the village of Oostburg up in Sheboygan County. So until then, folks, take care of yourselves, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and don't let that damn anxiety tell you what to do. Show that anxiety who's boss. I'm out of here. I gotta go to the doctor. Take care, folks.